Hello people out there in YouTube land, it's Chrome Dome checking in, otherwise known as the Uber Guru Sydney, or TUGs. Now I'm currently heading home after a reasonable shift. Didn't earn anything special, didn't have any extra special shifts, but after a bout of illness it's just good to be out and working again. So, as we make our way home, I thought I would share with you one of my favourite stories. I've had a couple of goes at it, but been interrupted by fares, which is always good. So, it's currently, I think, May 23, 2019, and this story takes me back to Easter Saturday 2018. Oh, we've just had a bicycle nearly collected by some cars. Anyway, typically when I go out and work, I aim to work 6 to 8 hours in a shift. I will typically work from about 9 PM through to 4 AM and then sort of fluctuate around depending on the day. Some days are particularly slow. I rarely do a 10 or a 12-hour shift because I've just proven that it's not very profitable. And the longer you do in one shift, the more fatigued you are for your follow-up shift. So for example, I'd rather do 2 6 or 2 8-hour shifts back to back than do one 10-hour shift and then be no good the next day. Anyway, Easter Saturday Easter Saturday last year, I head out and it takes me about half an hour from my starting point to get into Sydney. And I make my way into the city. I've got this nice little beanie on, keeping my ears warm. And I make my way into the city, and I'm then realising that perhaps I've come out too early, because it looks like there's 2 million people in the city. Clearly there shouldn't have been, but there's just a massive humanity everywhere, and busier than any Christmas I've seen. And I'm trying to plan where I'm going to stop, because there are certain vantage points that I'll cover in a later video about where to stop and, you know, pick up the most pings or fare requests. So as I'm making a decision whether to go and like park at a fast food restaurant or something, I get a trip request, and the trip request is 2 minutes away. So it means the person is probably within 1 to 1.5 kilometres. So I accept the fare, because I accept all fares, with exception one I'll mention later. Anyway, so I start driving, and then I realise that the location of this person is right dead smack centre in the centre of the Sydney CBD. And the problem with this is there's nowhere to park, there's nowhere to double park. Drivers, whether they be taxi drivers, couriers, whatever, they're going to be impatient. And how am I going to pick this person out of the massive humanity? It's worse than a proverbial needle in a haystack. So with about 500 metres to go, I phone them on loudspeaker and I say, "Hi, look, I'm your Uber driver. I'm on my way to pick you up. I've got no way of identifying you, because unfortunately with the app we aren't shown what our passenger looks like, our rider." And I said, "I'm just coming down X streets and I'm just approaching some lights." And as I'm approaching the lights, you know, the young lady I'm picking up is talking back to me, or responding, I suppose, sounds better. And I pull up to some lights and I'm trying to get some bearings, and she said, "That's all right, I'm a fast runner." I said, "I'm sorry, what?" "That's all right, I'm a fast runner, don't worry about it." I said, "No, I'm concerned that I won't know where you are." "That's all right." And before the lights turn green again, suddenly my passenger door flies open, and this little pocket rocket of a young lady hops in the passenger seat. "Hello, I told you I'm a fast runner, you're my Uber." And I look at her, and I mean, she would have been about 4'6". She looked about 12 years old, and I mean, the rules are we can't take any minors. And I thought, okay, so I make conversation. So, "Oh, hi, where have you just run from? Oh, I was at a work Easter party. Oh, okay, must be something similar to a work Christmas party. And I said, oh, so, wow, you found me. So well done. Yes. I told you I was a fast runner. Yes, I see that. I said, so how's your night been? She said, well, not that good, actually. I went to this party and I kept getting harassed by security. And I said, what do you mean you kept getting harassed? Oh, well, they kept asking to see my age. And I said, well, all due respect, you do look quite young. Oh, well, I can assure you I'm 20. I said, oh, okay. And, like, meanwhile, I'm looking at her thinking she's 12, dressed up to look 15. So I inquired. I said, oh, what sort of work do you do? Oh, well, I work in childcare. Okay, so you work in childcare. Yes, blah, blah, blah. And she rattles off a few things, and she works with the 0 to 2-year-olds and so forth. And I thought, oh, it should be great for childcare. Anyway, she said, oh, so how are you? I said, oh, well, I'm good, thanks. I said, I've come out to do a bit of work, so you're my first fare for the evening. Little was I to know I was going to have a horror fare later on. Oh, well, that's good. Well, we're going off to such and such, which was about 35 minutes away, so a decent fare to start the shift. And she said, oh, how's your Easter? I said, oh, well, it looks like I'll be working it, but I might get invited down to visit a friend at Wollongong. I'm waiting to hear back. Oh, that's good. I said, I'm so sorry I haven't got any Easter eggs to hand out to you, but that was my intention, but I wasn't sure what days I'd be working. Oh, that's all right, I've got plenty. And then she reaches down into a handbag and she starts pulling out all these Easter eggs, all these little, the little solid, I suppose they're 2 centimetre by 1 centimetre measurements, the little solid Cadbury caramel filled or solid chocolate Easter eggs, and she pulls out about 30 of them. I said, no, it's right. She said, no, I've got plenty. And she fills up one of my cup holders for about 30. She said, there you go, you can give those to your riders and you wish them a happy Easter. I said, oh, well, thank you so much. Anyway, the one thing I noticed about her more than anything, as I said, when she hopped in, she would have been about 4'6". She was, in my opinion, she looked 12, dressed to look 15, and she said she was 20. Certainly looked younger than 18. She absolutely lit up the car with personality, and so I could see why she'd work in childcare if that was truly the situation. She absolutely lit the car up, the energy, the vibe, the personality. She was so friendly, and she had one of those sort of, I suppose, cartoon voices, if you like, and it was just a really a really pleasant experience. And she's probably one of my favourite riders because she just had so much energy and she could put a smile on the face of anyone, and it wouldn't matter what type of day you were having, she could just fill you with energy. And then while we're driving her to her destination, she was arranging to meet up with some other girlfriends who were then going to go for another party. So I guess it's another example of never judge a book by its cover, and never underestimate the ability of passengers, because I can tell you I was quite concerned that I wasn't going to be able to find this person in the mass of humanity, and I didn't witness it firsthand. I only witnessed her arrival, but allegedly she ran something like 300 metres in a matter of seconds, picked my car out of a crowd of cars, ran through a crowd of people, and plonked herself in the passenger seat and sort of announced, well, here I am. And I can honestly say that she is one of my favourite Uber experiences, purely just from the energy she brought and the effort, and she was just absolutely a delight to have in the car. Anyway, this is Chrome Dome, the Uber Guru Sydney, TUGs, checking out. Peace to everybody.